ESPN college football finale. Number 6 Arizona State taking on Oregon State, trying to snap out of a 4-game losing streak. Let's take a look at the standings. First of all, in the North Division, Oregon already has that division wrapped up. They'll play somebody in the South in a couple of weeks' time. Arizona State can take it should they win out next week against Washington State and the following week against Arizona. Hello, everybody. I'm Mark Jones alongside Rod Gilmore. Jessica Mendoza down in the field joining us in just a bit. Rod, this Arizona State team might be the hottest team in the country right now. They've won 5 straight, number 6 in the college football playoff rankings. And their head coach, Todd Graham, says, hey, this is awesome. We have a chance at the college football playoff. But what about the trap that lies ahead?
Well, Todd Graham has kind of sounded like General Akbar all week. It's a trap. That's what he's been talking about. And basically everyone around the country has put them on upset alert with good reason. Biggest win in their history with Notre Dame last week. Come here tonight, really cold, against a team that hasn't played well. It is a trap.
And they have certainly turned the beat around since losing and giving up 62 points at home against UCLA. Their defense has been tireless and relentless.
They found an identity. That night against UCLA, they figured out who they are defensively, and that's an attacking, blitzing team, and it's working for them. You see what they've done since then. They haven't given up as many points. They got a lot more sacks. They take the ball away. It's all about the blitz, and they've done that. Last week, 62 out of 79 plays, they blitzed. We expect more of the same tonight.
They have put up some stellar numbers as they try to snap a losing streak here of 4 consecutive games against Oregon State. Jessica Mendoza, Arizona State has a hot receiver, but he's hot for a couple of different reasons.
Jonesy, he is. In fact, Arizona State feels like they are the underdog. After last big win last week, they still feel like they have a lot to prove. Wide receiver Jalen Strong said this week they have a lot to prove. ESPN does not give them the respect they deserve. The country is not giving them the credit that they deserve. They will continue to work hard, and what, guys, should really be a celebratory week has been a week of not a track game. It's something they want to go out and prove to the nation that they are the best.
Rod, we can say this. This is our 4th Arizona State game this year. I'm sold.
Should we put him on blast?
Yeah.
I mean, did we not say that he was probably a better receiver than Amari Cooper?
Yeah, I heard you say it a couple times.
Snoop Dogg hit him up, too.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of different types of respect.
But I'm not mad.
From coast to coast. You might want to call the programming department. Jalen Strong has been on fire of late. There's a look at the temperature I was alluding to. And stark comparison to last week's temperature in their game against Notre Dame, where it was 85 degrees in Tempe, 28 degrees tonight. We'll see how much of a factor that is against the Sun Devils here at Research Stadium. Coldest game since 1976. Oregon State winning the toss, deferring to the second half. Sun Devils will receive. 5 yards deep. Middlebrooks is going to decide to take it on the 25-yard line. That's what will be 1st down and 10 for Taylor Kelly, playing in his 4th game since returning from a foot injury that he suffered earlier this year in Colorado. Perhaps playing his best game last week in that victory against Notre Dame. He was 17 of 28 for 224 yards, 3 touchdown passes against just 1 interception.
And the biggest change is he appears to be more comfortable running the ball now. Much more assertive in that zone read option.
1st down and 10. DJ Foster. That pass incomplete. Broken up by Steven Nelson, jarring the ball loose from Jalen Strong. That's going to be one of the nice matchups to keep an eye on tonight, Roger.
Well, as any good cornerback would want, Nelson was looking forward to the matchup with Strong. You like those challenges if you're a good corner.
Nelson led the team with 6 interceptions a season ago. DJ Foster rocked in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of a few yards on the play. DJ Alexander was the first one to get there.
Aggressive linebacker play, shooting the gap, beating the potential block, and hello, Mr. DJ Foster.
This is a defense that has been much maligned over the 4-game losing streak, particularly with a propensity for giving up late leads.
And giving up a lot on the ground, too.
Very quickly in a hole at 3rd and 16. Kelly has Foster open underneath. And he's going to be brought down far shy of the 1st down. It'll be 4th and 8, a gain of 3 on the play. Larry Scott making the tackle for that Beaver defense.
That would qualify as a pretty good start for Mark Banker and his defense. They wanted to come out strong and be aggressive and attack, and that's exactly what they did on that opening series.
Matt Hawk averaging about 42 yards per punt. Ball bounces to about the 43, takes a Sun Devil bounce all the way down to the 29-yard line, where it's finally downed. A 44-yard punt, nothing on the return, and that's where Sean Mannion, the Pac-12 Conference's all-time passing leader, will take it 1st down and 10 for Oregon State. Last week he was 31 of 44 for over 400 yards throwing in what has been overall a pretty frustrating year for the talented senior quarterback.
You have to believe it has been frustrating. 37 touchdown passes last season, only 10 this year. He said no to the NFL and came back this year, and the team has not won.
And nowhere to go that time for Storm Woods. Might have lost a yard on the play. Good to see Woods back for Oregon State. He was 100% on Monday after missing the game last week against Washington State with a quadriceps injury. Take a look at our impact players.
Well, we'll be brief about this because there's going to be so much pressure. The guys on the outside have to make plays. Jalen Strong, you know all about him. Victor Bowden, outstanding receiver for Oregon State, runs the fly sweep, great speed. He's going to have a big game if there's any chance for Oregon State to get big plays and take away this defensive pressure.
He's had consecutive games with over 10 receptions. They're running and gashed them up the middle. They got ripped. Lacerated. Woods. Storm Woods. Touchdown, Beavers.
Hey, Jonesy, take a look. Here's Randall, the safety, to the right side. Simone came up here. He's blitzing. Randall stays to the right side. Now, once you get your backers blocked, as they do with their linemen, there's nobody home. You took the safeties out of there, and you trusted your linebackers, and they got linemen on them, and the band is playing.
That's what Oregon State fans want to hear. Lots of school songs coming from the band. It means you're making that blitz pay. A career-long run by Woods of 78 yards. What a start for the Beavers. Nice look at the Oregon State band making its rounds through downtown Corvallis before every and each home game. I didn't see them while I was eating my chicken wings downtown this afternoon. Or during that workout that I skipped.
You don't break your routine.
No.
Well,
no.
You find a place everywhere we go.
Tell you what, the routine has been broken today with #1 Mississippi State being upset, if you want to call it an upset, at Tuscaloosa by Alabama. So some interesting machinations going on right now. The college football playoff rankings coming out on Tuesday at 7:30. You can watch it on ESPN. This is Kyle Middlebrooks. And Middlebrooks brought down at the 25. Arizona State's head coach Todd Graham, when we asked him about the opportunity of being in that top 4 group, he said it's awesome. He didn't try to sugarcoat it. He loves the fact that his team knows what it's playing for right now. But down 7-0 here and tackled behind the line of scrimmage that time is #4 Demario Richard.
Jonesy, this is a rushing defense that gave up 269 yards to Cal, a passing team. 253 to Utah. USC got them for 200. And the one thing they wanted to do tonight was shut down Arizona State's rushing attack.
Foster motions out of the backfield. Kelly with plenty of time, and this is where he could hurt you. Takes off with it out to the 34-yard line, gains 5. Let's go down to Jessica.
Well, I spoke to Keith Patterson, defensive coordinator for Arizona State, and their approach to the weather this weekend was to not even talk about. In fact, Todd Graham said, if I even hear a peep about any kind of weather, you guys are coming out of the game. I don't want it to be an issue. Now, I do have to say, though, it's hard to find a heater that is not being occupied, so these guys definitely do feel the cold.
You know they do.
As long as they don't talk about it. 3rd and 14. Kelly blitzed. caught by Foster. Trying to make it happen, but ends up short of the first down. Good heat up front by that Oregon State defense. Nolan Lewis was coming hard with bad intentions.
Yeah, nothing but pressure. They brought 5 that time. Lewis coming in there from his safety spot, putting heat on Kelly. It's what we expected. It's both teams kind of rolling the dice and blitzing almost every single play.
4th and 9, and the punt takes a Sun Devil bounce inside the 25, all the way down to the 21-yard line. First down and 10 for Oregon State. 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends. Mannion all day to pass. Bolden with his first reception of the ball game.
Hey,
Pick up of 11.
You look at all the guys they have. They use a tight end. They keep a back end. They're going with as many guys as they can to protect their quarterback. Mannion is an NFL drop back guy. He's not going to run around a lot. They know they got to use a lot of guys to protect him to get the ball off.
Teron Ward in the backfield now.
It's one of those blitzes from the outside.
Run into it, and Ward with a nice gain of 5 yards. How much do you think that long touchdown run by Storm Woods on the last possession takes some of that aggressiveness away, if yet?
I don't think that will take it away yet. I think it takes a couple of big plays to make them reconsider it. You have to hit them a few times. You know, you keep trading shots. You will keep blitzing until a team makes you hurt for doing it. If the band plays a lot, you go, wait, we can't keep blitzing them. We can't do it.
I got the chorus down already. 2nd and 5. And they got to him, and it's picked off. Interception by Randall. And he picks up a couple of blockers all the way down to the 19. So they heat up the quarterback, Sean Mannion, and the interception ensues.
Well, they do it again. You just watch over here. There's one more guy outside. There's an overload. They don't pick it up, and then they bring a little stunt inside also with Marcus Hardison, and that pressure, that hit, creates the turnover. That's why you stay with the pressure. You keep getting these hits and you get the big plays, they're not going to take you out of the blitz that way. You keep coming with it.
They've blitzed 7 of the last 8 plays on defense. Randall had a big pick last week. Gets another one here. Under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Arizona State with its deepest penetration of the ball game at the 19. Kelly keeps it. Just shy of the 15-yard line. Got a couple of yards on the play. 2nd and 8. What do you make of the speed of this Sun Devil offense so far? As fast as they want it yet?
No.
No?
No. They wanted a little bit faster, but you know, Kelly wanted to throw that ball. I think they want to get into a rhythm. They're not there yet.
Kelly hands it off to Richard. And Richard with a decent gain. Still shy of the first down. Picked up 5. 3rd and about 3 coming up for the Sun Devils.
You know, Jonesy, your pace slows down when you can't get first downs. And they've had those 3s and 3 and out. So in order to get it going, they got to get a first down.
Jalen Strong split inside receiver to the top of your screen. That's Foster in motion. Kelly hits Foster, and Foster got hit right away by Nelson, who jarred it loose, and it's 4th down. Steven Nelson, very active and played a good game so far.
And that's a win for the Oregon State defense. You get a hurry-up, sudden change situation like that in your red zone, and you keep them out of the end zone and hold them to a field goal attempt. They don't pick up a first down. That's a defensive win.
Nice hitting by Steven Nelson. Zane Gonzalez now in to attempt this field goal from 28 yards out. He's 16 of 19 on the season. And Gonzalez knocks it through to make it a 7-3 ball game. But a win for that Beaver defense. Back after this. Folks, it's 28 degrees out there, so I want to know what his secret is.
Well, what I don't get is how can you be out there without a shirt on, but you need hand warmers? that makes no sense.
The Arizona State offense trying to heat up still. They got stalled in the red zone, couldn't score after the turnover. Here's the return by Chris Brown. And Brown, not so breezy, brought down to the 30, but there's a flag down. First and 10 from the 30 for the Beavers. Blitz coming. What else is new? Pass caught, complete to Hamlin. 2nd and 6 on a very compelling day in college football. Alabama winning against Mississippi State. And this is Teron Ward. One guy to beat. Ward in a race to the end zone. Touchdown Beavers! "66 yards.
What did we say about the band? About beating pressure? Got to make the band play. And they just really slash into that one. And there's Simone, the last line of defense, the safety who was actually crowded up a little bit. And they busted another one very similar to the last touchdown.
Second time we've heard that band play, as you talked about, Rod. A career-long 66-yard run by Teron Ward, and it's 14-0 here. Still in the first quarter, an upset brewing here in Corvallis. Could be a trap. Welcome back, everyone. 14-3. The only score for Arizona State, a field goal right now. But, Rod, they have been ripped with some big running plays in this ball game.
Well, they've creased them. They've hit the creases because Arizona State has been blitzing and bringing their safeties down. And if you get a hat on them, you can hit the crease. And Oregon State's done a nice job of making them pay for taking those shots with the blitzes.
Get them for 78 and 66-yard plays so far. Sun Devils reeling here early. With a 7-game winning streak on the line. Let's take one more look at that touchdown. What was the key?
Yeah, well, I want you to take a look right about here. Freeze it right here. Look, there's a safety, there's a backer. They get a block there, they get a cut block there, and then a whole lane opens up. Another safety down in the box. They take him out of the play, and Simone's the only safety on the other side, just like that other play we saw them take it to the house on. So when you get them down in the box, if you get a hat on them, you can get a big play, and they've gotten 2 of them tonight.
Well, if you're an Oregon State fan, you ask, where has this been the last 4 weeks? Oregon State really getting the better of the Sun Devils so far. Yardage-wise, Foster going up and over the 50-yard line. A gain of 5. Ramo Mannion with the stop.
Well, the adjustment for Arizona State so far has been to run to the short side and to release someone out on that safety who's been lurking around in there and attacking the line of scrimmage.
Boy, right at the mesh point, Foster took the handoff and took a hit at the same time.
And he's like, hey, I don't even have the ball. I got 2 guys on me. I don't have the ball.
Obum Gwacham, the converted wide receiver, with a nice stop here.
Yeah, well, he gets hit by 1. Here comes number 2. He's taken to the ground, and he's probably, I don't have the ball, guys.
3rd and 4 for the Sun Devils. Jalen Strong has been relatively quiet. This pass complete to Richard out of the backfield, and he's got room, plowing his way down to the 20-yard line before being knocked out of bounds by Steven Nelson. But a 29-yard gain, and a big one tonight for the Sun Devils. Inside the 20. Richard again, last time down in the red zone, they stalled. Tackle made by Gwacham, a 3-yard gain. Three receivers to the bottom of your screen. Kelly kept it and fell. No gain.
Well, he wanted to throw. He had 3 receivers. They had a little screen set up that to the left side. He was looking to throw it, and it was covered, so he has the option to run.
Time winding down here in the first quarter. 10th play of the Arizona State drive. Foster split to the bottom of your screen. Kelly hits him in mid-stride, and DJ Foster spins for a touchdown. And that puts a silencer on the crowd here at Reser Field.
It's just a shallow cross route. You line him up as a wide receiver. He comes underneath and just let him do his thing. I mean, he is such an excellent player. He is so diverse. You can put him in the backfield, put him out at receiver. That time they lined him up as a wide receiver and just run that shallow cross.
That's his 3rd touchdown reception of the season, the 11th of his career for the 5'11" junior out of Scottsdale, Arizona. The score now 14-10. Arizona State pulling a little bit closer. Coming into the game 8-1 tonight, having won 5 straight and 7 on the road dating back to last year. 7 in a row. Marble on the return. And brought down at the 23. 9 seconds to go in the first quarter. Nice run by Woods, and Woods still on his feet, miraculously out to midfield. That's no quiet storm. A 35-yard gain, and what a way to end the first quarter. Storm Woods. That's a thunderstorm, rainstorm. Welcome back, everyone, to Reser Stadium, Corvallis, Oregon, for the start of the second quarter. The number 6 team in the college football playoff rankings, Arizona State down 14-10. Mark Jones alongside Rod Gilmore, Jessica Mendoza down the field. Oregon State has had a very productive night offensively, especially running the football with a couple of rushing touchdowns. The pass this time complete for a gain of about 3 on the play. The catch made by Victor Bolden.
You know, Jonesy, Arizona State has blitzed on 10 of 13 plays, and they've been gashed for 2 big touchdowns. You wonder, will they be taken out of it? I don't know. I think they will keep rolling the dice. I think it's just who they are, and they're not going to change that even if they keep getting gashed. I think they're going to stay with it.
That last pressure was responsible for the interception, which led to the touchdown on the last series. On 2nd and 7, Woods brought down right near the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a foot or 2. Lloyd Carrington, the reigning Pac-12 defensive player of the week, with a stop on the play.
But what that gashing does, it gives Oregon State the ability or the possibility of taking shots down the field when they get the single coverage now. They've been so good running it that they should get Bolden free at some point with his speed in a single man-on-man situation.
Blitz coming. Mannion on the receiver screen. Complete to Bolden. Bolden won't get enough for the first down. Well defended by the Sun Devils. A gain of just 3. Armand Perry making the tackle on the play for Arizona State.
Yes, yeah, I don't think you punt from this distance. I think it's you try the field goal or you go for it. You're at the 35-yard line. Now they've brought their punter out. I think the likelihood of dropping this thing in, kicking a ball that's like a brick.
Right. We talked about,
not a fan.
Talked about Garrett Owens and Trevor Romaine having the stronger leg and the ability to kick a 50-plus yard field goal, but this punt comes down to the 17-yard line, and what has been a frustrating season so far for the Beavers. They do have the lead, though, when we come back.
24 hours of basketball coming up.
Wall to wall. Taylor Kelly completes the pass to Jalen Strong. Strong, undaunted, on his feet and out to the 40-yard line with a first down as we go downstairs to Jessica. What's up, Jess?
Oh, guys, Graham just got the entire offense and said it is 14-10. Do I need to repeat that? Are you guys happy? We need to stop the run. He said there's 2 wide receivers that are running screen pass. You need to cut them off and stop them. Don't let me repeat myself. 14-10.
imploring his team to get with the program as Strong picks up another 6 yards on the play, brought down by Nelson.
In other words, Graham was reminding them that it's a trap, like he was saying all week.
He's had great success in his 3 years at Arizona State. Last year, his team making it to the conference championship game before losing against Stanford.
You think Arizona State is underrated, disrespected, as Strong says?
A lot of people back east still unaware of their talent and success. But if Strong keeps making catches like that, Rod, they won't help but have to notice at some point, especially if they make it into the top 4 group in the college football playoff rankings at the time they play the Final Four. Final 4 teams. Under 10 minutes to go. First half. Smith in motion to the top of your screen. Wide open underneath. It's caught by Cole. Still on his feet. Touchdown, Arizona State. And Sun Devil fans that have made the trip all the way from the warm, balmy climes of Tempe, happy to see that one as the Sun Devils take the lead for the first time tonight. 46 yards in all.
Well, they made Oregon State pay for bringing the pressure. They just ate them up.
That works 2 ways, huh?
Yep.
And it's a 17-14 game, a career-long catch and run by Cody Cole.
He's on the right side, gets a chance to get this done. A tight end, a big catch, and number 6 is back in business.
Taylor Kelly, leader of that offense for Arizona State. His 4th game back after that foot injury, leading them down the field, and he's connected on his last 7 passes in a row. Rod, you made a good point that they made Oregon State pay for their pressure and blitzing.
Yep. They shut the band up.
Marable on the return. And he's tackled just shy of the 25-yard line. Well, the Beavers running the ball well tonight. 9-yard gain by Ward, brought down by DJ Calhoun.
Yeah, he left Mr. Randall grasping at air out there. That's a guy who had a pick 6 against Notre Dame last week, and he wasn't even the Pac-12 player of the week. That was his running mate, Lloyd Carrington, out there, number 8, who was the Pac-12 defensive player of the week with his great performance last week.
This is a defense, plays a lot of young guys. A lot of freshmen on that defense. A defense that replaced 9 starters from a season ago. Really rounding into 4. But they get gashed up front again. This is Teron Ward picking up 12 for another first down. What does it say about a team when its safeties are its number 1 and 2 tacklers, Rod? Is that good? Is it bad? What do you make of it?
Well,
is it scheme?
Yeah, normally it's a bad thing, but not with this scheme. They do this. They want their safeties to make lots of tackles. They bring them down and put them in the situation to make those plays. So they're not making tackles 20 yards down the field. They're making them at the line of scrimmage.
First and 10. Handoff. And nothing doing that time as Tayshawn Smallwood, on a loss of 3, brings down Teron Ward. 2nd and 13 coming up.
Smallwood is a freshman. He played great last week, as did the veteran on the other side, Hardison, number 1. That defensive line has really, really grown up and matured up front the last 3-4 weeks.
Jackson Hood, a guy not expected to play today, missed the Notre Dame game as well. One of those key guys up front. 2nd down and 13. Mannion given time. Catch made at the 49-yard line by Villeman. Jordan Villeman, a guy with good size who's expected to play a pretty good role in this game today.
Solid receiver, young guy, really coming on for them. They're going to need more than him, though. Bolden has to be involved. Number 6, Bolden, is a speed guy, and they're going to need big plays, and they haven't gotten any of those in the air yet.
I haven't heard much from El Dockery either. One of their home run hitters. Here's the pressure, and that time they get to Mannion. The ball comes loose. It's a scoop, and it's a score. But there's a flag down on the play as Longino takes it into the end zone. Let's see if it stands or not.
There is no foul on the play.
Marcus Hardison made the hit, and Antonio Longino recovered it.
Yeah, they threw a flag, but picked it up. You see the pressure.
Threw my flag instead of my beanbag as a result of the fumble.
There you go. He was just trying to mark the fumble spot, and just a bum rush. Look at all the pressure. They come right up the center. They've got a quarterback that they know is not very mobile. They expect him to be right there. Hardison makes a hit. Ball comes out, and you're off to the races. The pressure. We've seen 2 big touchdowns against this defense.
Yep.
We've seen 2 big turnovers created by this defense because of the pressure.
A couple of pick sixes last week against Notre Dame, and the defense scores again here tonight. With 7:04 to go in the first half, the Sun Devils, after a shaky start, getting their traction and footing right now, leading by 10 with 7:04 to go. 2 turnovers leading to 10 points for the Sun Devils so far tonight. On the return from the 3-yard line is Marable. Out to the 28. Mannion gets rid of it quickly, and boy, what a great catch by Victor Bolden.
They should be calling timeout. They got 3 of them.
Trying to get closer to field goal range. Two timeouts remaining, but just 10 seconds. Mannion over the middle, incomplete. Through the arms of Victor Bolden after making a spectacular catch a moment ago, drops the routine one.
Well, and that one would have given them excellent possibilities of a field goal.
It's interesting, coaches were telling us how they put so much responsibility on Bolden to produce every Saturday and to lead by example. They themselves forget sometimes that he's still just a sophomore.
He should be playing alongside Brandon Cooks. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not mad at him. He's doing his thing for the New Orleans Saints. Left early and should have.
6 seconds to go. Pass complete out of the backfield to Teron Ward. Steps out of bounds, but not really close to field goal range with 1 second to go. But this is the conference of the Hail Mary pass. Don't forget.
Yeah. Oh, man.
We've seen it a couple of times this year.
What have we had? 3 of them already? 4 of them or something?
We saw it at USC. We saw Arizona defeat Cal that way this year in the Pac-12. We saw these guys win a game against USC, Arizona State. Don't sleep on the Hail Mary. Mannion can get it into the end zone from here. And he launches it. It'll reach the end zone. And it's incomplete. As I hear echoes of Rod Gilmore in my headset saying, make sure you rush at least 4.
And knock it down. And you know what? They rushed 4.
Well, Arizona State with the lead at the half, 24-14, as Demarius Randall shaken up in the end zone. As we go downstairs to Jessica.
Well, Coach, Arizona State classically blitzing as you suspected. You were able to avoid and capitalize early. How were you able to do that?
Well, you know, we hit some good runs. We blocked it well. And then I think the worst play of the game was the sack fumble touchdown, of course, you know. So that's the thing we've been trying to avoid. So if we're going to get back in it and play and get a chance to win, we're going to have to avoid that.
Well, and you guys have been blitzing on the return. They've seen some holes on that. What changes need to be made in the second half?
Well, we've got to. Are you talking about our offense?
Your defense.
Our defense, yeah. You know, we've got to get a little bit better position in coverage when we blitz, and then we got to get home a little bit more.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, Jessica. They're facing a lot of pressure. You know what they say about pressure? Pressure makes diamonds, and pressure busts pipes. Beavers not looking for a plumber yet. They trail by 10. BMW halftime report after these messages. And welcome back, everyone, under the lights. ESPN College Football Finale from Reser Stadium in Corvallis, Oregon. Number 6, Arizona State in the college football playoff rankings, leading right now against Oregon State. Mark Jones, Rod Gilmore, Jessica Mendoza down to the field, joining us in just a bit. With Alabama defeating Mississippi State today, you got to know that the Sun Devils are aware of the opportunity facing them, Rod.
Yeah, and I think they started to pick it up. The trap was sort of there early on. They're starting to hit their stride. They're feeling it. Their coach is all over it, so we'll see about that as this game goes along. But happy birthday, man. It's 1 o'clock or something in the East. Happy birthday to you.
Live to make it another year. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. On the return, Oregon State's going to have possession here and open the third quarter. That's Malcolm Marable as we go downstairs to Jessica, keeping warm down there.
Oh, I'm keeping it warm, but Arizona State was not ready to play. Flat out, that's what Todd Graham told me coming out of half. He said, we gave up 181 yards rushing in that first quarter. Second quarter, only 11. It was a different team, but we needed to wake up. He said, I blame myself and the coaches for not preparing them properly, but these players were not ready to play. Now they are.
Yeah, most of those 180-odd yards were in those 2 big plays, Rod.
2 long runs, one by Storm Woods, one by Teron Ward. Big touchdowns for Oregon State.
Straight ahead between the tackles, that's Teron Ward again. Nice gain of 7 yards on the play. 2nd down and 3. Oregon State coming in at 4-5. They've lost 4 consecutive games, but they've won 4 straight against Arizona State under these lights here at home. Mannion got rid of it in time, has a man downfield, and it's caught. Complete. Right near the 30-yard line at the 28. Jordan Villeman beat Quishy Brown on the play.
Well, that's the first time tonight that they have picked up the blitz in a passing situation. And watch Mannion hang in there. They pick it up. There's 6 guys that come. They pick it up, and Villeman's open. They got him matched up against a good guy that they wanted to have him matched up against Quishy Brown, and he beat him. Big gainer.
38 yards on the play. On the draw play, gain of 3 to Teron Ward. 2nd and 7 coming up. Longino making the stop.
And Mike Riley knows a thing or two about quarterbacks. Quarterback guru himself and coached in the NFL. And he also believes that Mannion is going to rise up the charts come combine time, and as they look at his makeup as a quarterback, his master of the passing attack, that he will rate very well.
On 2nd and 7, here comes the blitz. Wide open, touchdown Beavers. Bolden got him.
Well, Jonesy, we talked about the pressure. You got to pick up the pressure and make the band play. And they picked up the pressure. The band is playing. Bolden got a chance to work against Randall, matched up with the safety, gets inside of him. But the key is picking up the blitz, and they picked it up.
They are right in this ball game, trailing by just 3 points on the 79th career touchdown pass by Sean Mannion, which ties the school record of Derek Anderson. Great move inside by Bolden for the catch. Look at Sean Mannion, who is among some of the great quarterbacks in Pac-12 history, the all-time leading passer yardage-wise in the Pac-12, and tying Derek Anderson with 79 atop the school list.
We watched him in practice yesterday, and he's got an arm that just makes you go, oh, kind of like when folks watched Jeff George back in the day.
A Slow dribbler down to the 15-yard line, picked up by Middlebrooks. He's brought down to the 25-yard line. And a very impressive drive. 11 plays, 87 yards, using just under 6 minutes on the clock.
They ran it 7 times on that drive.
Pretty good balance into the boundary. Foster gets spun around and out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. Picked up about 3 or 2 on the play.
You know, that drive was very balanced for Oregon State. 7 runs, 4 passes. They now have 249 yards rushing. That's the most Arizona State's allowed all season.
Jalen Strong kept out of the end zone so far in the ball game today as they run it between the tackles. Foster picks up a yard, but Jalen Strong came into the game with a streak of 5 games with a touchdown in it consecutively.
TCU struggled at Kansas. Ohio State struggled at Minnesota. Arizona State, number 6, struggling here late in the 3rd quarter.
3rd and 5. Low throw and incomplete. Intended for Demario Richard, but not one of Kelly's better passes tonight. And they'll punt.
Pressure. The pressure did that. They made Kelly move, and his throw was low.
3 and out.
If you were sitting on the committee and you watched this Arizona State performance through 3 quarters, would you think they were worthy top 4?
I would say yes, because I just place it on the final result.
Really?
Yeah.
Who would you move out? Final result, TCU won. They didn't look good, and they're sitting at 4.
I'm talking about just what I'm saying, I guess, in the big picture is that it doesn't matter if you struggle if you win. And that's why we were talking about Florida State a little bit earlier.
Right.
I would keep them up
You keep
around
them in.
2.
You keep TCU where they are. At the end of the day, Arizona State, if they win out and knock off Oregon in the championship game of the Pac-12.
Oh, they're in.
They're in.
Yeah.
I agree.
Next week for Arizona State, it'll be Washington State, followed up by their rivalry game against Arizona. But the task at hand right here is Oregon State, leading by just 3. Pass complete to Caleb Smith, the tight end, and he picks up another first down for the Beavers. 13 yards in all.
It's not a foregone conclusion that the Sun Devils are going to get out of here alive.
Well, we heard head coach Todd Graham say at the end of last week's win in the locker room against Notre Dame, Oregon State is all that matters.
Yeah, and while he was saying that, everybody else around campus, nice job. We're number 6, man. You guys are awesome. Woohoo, cool. We're going.
Some of the trappings of success, I guess. Nowhere to go that time, right into the middle of the line. No gain. But these players, they can't avoid people trying to gas them up in class and walking around campus and, like you said, a little backslapping. And they've got to go it down there in Tempe.
Well, you know, you want your fans to be excited and everything. As soon as it comes along, then the coaches get worried. They're like, whoa, okay, pump your brakes. Come on.
2nd down and 10. Arizona State went to the conference championship game last year before losing to Stanford. They hand it off to Woods, and Woods is brought down for a loss of 2. Well defended. So it'll be 3rd down and about 12 to go. DJ Calhoun on the tackle.
Yeah, but that was 28 Muki Ola who made that play. I mean, he was the linebacker to the outside, and he set the edge. He turned that thing back inside so that Calhoun could make the play. So while Calhoun gets the credit, I'm giving the love to the man who really made the play over there.
From the 36. Heat coming on Mannion, and they sack him. Marcus Hardison, the first one there. And a great way to punctuate the end of the quarter for Todd Graham. Fire and brimstone on the sidelines. And his team leading by 3 when we come back for the fourth quarter. Welcome back, everybody, for the start of the fourth quarter. Arizona State looking at one of the biggest opportunities in school history in terms of a shot at making it into the top 4 of the college football playoff rankings. Right now sitting at number 6. But keep in mind, Mississippi State upended today by Alabama. The ball loose. I'm not sure that it was touched. There's a flag on the field at the 43.
Kick interference. Number 28 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty. First down.
15 yards.
Well, you have to give him an opportunity to catch the ball. Calls a fair catch. Just got to move away.
Ron Ward was there and got in the way and puts it at the 42-yard line of Oregon State.
That's like a turnover. You're now on the plus side of midfield for Arizona State. 42 yards away.
Nelson in motion. Kelly on the fake. Throws it away wisely. There was a receiver in the area. No grounding called. Dylan Wynn with big-time pressure for Oregon State. He has been ubiquitous all over the field tonight for the Beaver defense.
How do you feel about the face mask? It kind of reminds me a little bit of the kind of the Silence of the Lambs.
I like it. Yeah, there's a little Hannibal Lecter there.
Fava beans.
It's very nefarious with that thing. I wonder if it's legal.
There's no call for intentional
2nd and 10.
grounding. The quarterback was out of the box, and the pass crossed the line of scrimmage.
Our official explaining there was no grounding and why. 2nd and 10 for Arizona State. Oregon State trying to avoid another late game meltdown. Kelly completes it to his tight end, Demarie Nelson. Big target at 6'2", 230 out of Stockton, California. 3rd down coming up after the gain of 7. Who do you like here? Is it Jalen Strong time, Rod?
I think they keep the ball on the ground. I think they give Kelly the option to decide on the read what to do. He's broken off some nice runs on that play, and I think you're in 2-down territory for Arizona State. Almost no man's land here.
Zane Gonzalez can kick them up to 50 yards. Three on the play clock. They're just snapping in time. Foster gets the first down and then some down to the 25-yard line.
That's that zone read.
9-yard gain.
Read it perfectly inside. Saw the lane. Got a great block up front by his center.
DJ Foster had 2 huge fourth-quarter runs in that victory last week against Notre Dame. Kelly, Jalen Strong on the receiver screen. Picks up close to 5. Zimmerman making the stop on the play.
Are you surprised how good of an inside runner Foster is for not being a big guy?
Yeah, pretty versatile.
I mean, he really does run well between the tackles, and you would not expect that. This is about 5'10", 200 pounds.
Strong split to the bottom of the screen, matched up against Nelson. Kelly looks his way and threw it behind him, incomplete. Bad pass that time by Taylor Kelly.
Yeah, and he stared him down the entire way, and he was behind him. But yeah, I just think Foster is the X factor. He's not on the field right now, but to me, he gives you better matchups, better mismatches. Whether you bring him out of the backfield, you see that play there with the ball thrown behind him, but I don't see Foster on the field right now.
He's not. There he is on the sideline. They're 0 for 9 on third downs tonight. Into the end zone. Caught, but out of bounds. And Steven Nelson telling Strong about him, saying, you know what? I had you that time.
Well, he did. He did a nice job. I mean, he didn't give him very much sideline to work with, so there was nowhere to go with the back shoulder throw. Watch him squeeze him to the sideline. Now, the back shoulder throw is not going to be in bounds. It's got to be out of bounds. That's because Nelson did a great job of squeezing him to the sideline. And you always use the sideline if you're a corner. It can help you down there.
Gonzalez from 29 yards out. High snap, but they get it down, and it's good to increase the lead to 6, 27-21 with 12:43 to go. Looking to squeeze into that top 4 in the college football playoff. Arizona State held to a field goal on their previous drive to make it 27-21.
Arizona State, number 4, is now wearing number 52.
Mike Riley said that he was encouraged by his team's work ethic and practice habits this week, and their ability potentially to bounce back against Arizona State and snap that losing streak as Maribel runs it out. Great backside pursuit, and the tackle by Marcus Hardison on Teron Ward. It's going to be a loss of 2, and we're watching the film. We see that a lot.
Oh, he's playing out of his mind. You know, their ends and their linebackers are so quick. They come down the line backside and make plays. You're absolutely right. You know, it shows up big time on film. And that guy, I mean, he's playing at an all-conference level.
2nd and 12. Bolden split wide to the top of your screen. Run it. Some good resistance between the tackles that time. Gain of 3 on the play. Let's go down to Jessica.
Well, guys, comparing the two sidelines, Arizona State, after the last 3 drives, their offense has been sitting on the heated bench, and you can hear a pin drop. Silence, no communication, energy, anything. Oregon State, they're standing on the benches. They're loud. They have tons of energy. They get excited about small things. So definitely a difference between these two sidelines, especially with the offense.
Well, they'll erupt if they can protect Mannion here and pick up this 3rd and 8. They've not been good on 3rd down at all.
Got to get just beyond the 40-yard line. Here comes the heat. Mannion had time, got him in, caught! Villiman! Touchdown, Beavers! State a point away from taking the lead. 66 yards to Jordan Villiman, and the Beavers lead 28-27 with just under 11 minutes to go. They thought he could be a big piece of the game plan because of his talent and his size and his burgeoning efficiency, and Sean Mannion got it there. He delivered a strike under the lights at Reeser with an upset brewing. Arizona State down 28-27. Now ranked number 6 in the college football playoff rankings. Let's take one more look at that touchdown pass to Villiman. What was the key element here?
Well, it's a 3rd down blitz. They brought the kitchen sink, and I want you to watch how they pick it up, but everybody comes. They bring 7. They're only 4 in coverage, and Oregon State picks it up perfectly. Single coverage on the back end. Villiman gets it done over Carrington, but the key was picking up the inside blitz, the kitchen sink. They threw at him, and they handled it.
Let's see how the Sun Devils counter here. Mario Richard in the backfield. Kelly passes complete to Cameron Smith, who's brought down at the 41-yard line, and a first down for Arizona State.
I think we can put Arizona State officially on upset alert right now.
Yes, sir. Sun Devils coming off the biggest win under Coach Todd Graham last week against Notre Dame. TJ Foster on the sweep into the boundary, brought down at the 40-yard line.
I still don't understand why Foster wasn't in on that third down play, last series for them when they were trying to score the touchdown. That's a mystery to me.
I'm sure at some point, as we talked about, because of his size, they got to apportion his plays and his touches. Save a little bit for him at the end. Off the play action, Jalen Strong looking strong and healthy here. Jalen Strong with a burst down the sidelines, and they're going to call it out of bounds. And a flag, actually.
Yeah, I think there was a illegal block.
Holding. Number 6 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So still a first down from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, it's Cameron Smith right there. There you see. He's got jersey. He's holding on to Nelson. He gets flagged for it, so the play will count. He just enforced the penalty from the spot.
From the 45-yard line. Jalen Strong held without a touchdown today. 8 catches for 93 yards. This time it's Foster on the ground down to the 41. Picked up 4. Tell you what, this Oregon State defense so far has acquitted itself pretty well, Rod, but let's see if they succumb to those late game struggles as they have so many times this year.
They had, what, 3 fourth-quarter leads this season, blew them all. But their linebackers are aggressive. They're still hanging around with 7, 8 guys in the box trying to shut down the run.
Kelly with time, taking a shot for Strong. Incomplete. Broken up by Larry Scott. I'm not sure if maybe that actually hit Strong in the arms or not, whether it got there.
Well, Kelly was late. Strong was open early. He waited a bit late to get the ball out there, and that allowed Scott to come back and get involved. And I think that ball actually hit Scott on the fingers.
Here we go, 3rd and 5.
How willing is Oregon State to pressure again now?
Foster in the backfield beside Kelly. Kelly gets it out, squeezes it into the window, incomplete. And it's 4th down coming up for Arizona State. Tried to find Cody Cole, but it was broken up.
Well, he picked the wrong guy. He had another guy running completely free at the first down marker, and he ignored him. Gary Chambers, watch number 81. Watch 81 right there. Wide open, right at the first down marker. Wide open.
4th and 5, Kelly on the field. They tend to pooch kick in this kind of position a lot. See if it's a pooch kick or whether they're going to go for it. He's going to kick it. And they get down there in time. Boy, this is going to work out perfectly for Arizona State. A 39-yard punt by Taylor Kelly. Oregon State 99 yards away, but a 1-point lead when we come back. Oregon State trying to snap a 4-game losing streak and shatter the dreams of Arizona State at a potential top 4 spot in the college football playoff rankings. Beavers running on first down. Tyler Anderson gains a little over a yard, maybe 2.
Hard to move folks in there. Mo Latu, number 98, is in the middle. 6'3", 360. It's a lot of man to try to move out of there. And keep in mind, they are playing without their great, strong safety, Jordan Simone. James Johnson is in instead.
Back set in the offset eye. Mannion going to pass it out of the end zone. Little contact down the side and a late flag. Quishy Brown was matched up against Victor Bolden. Looks like we're going to get a pass interference call.
Yeah, it's the hand up around the shoulder. You know, you got to keep the hand down low if you want to get away with those things.
Pass interference. Number 10 defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. That's an automatic first down.
I think Bolden might have sold that a little bit too.
Yeah, but anytime that hand is up high, it's easy for the refs to see that. I mean, the good coaches tell you, keep your hands down low.
First and 10 Beavers from the...
It gives Oregon State a little bit more breathing room out to the 18-yard line. They run it. Gain of 3 yards by Teron Ward, and we talked a little bit earlier about the Oregon State plan for success. It's been check, check, and check. Rob.
Well, yeah, they followed. That's why they're in the game. They've made the band play. They've made them pay for the blitzing. They've gotten big plays out of it. They've kept DJ in check rushing the football. He's made some catches. And then the cold weather, I think, has had an impact. Arizona State has not been as effective in the second half as they were in that second quarter. I think the record cold here tonight, what, high 20s, low 30s?
Balmy, one of the colder days for a football game here. Second down and 7. Mannion. Complete. Up to the 35-yard line. Villeman, who caught a touchdown on the last series, picks up 14 here, working against Quishy Brown.
They are picking up the pressure. Mannion has time now. He didn't have time in the first half. But they are picking up the 6-man blitz, the 7-man blitz. The backs are stepping up, and Mannion is able to stay on his spot and deliver the ball.
Ward in the backfield, they run it. Ward with a nice gain, got about 6.
Look, Oregon State is growing in confidence in dealing with this blitz. I mean, they're no longer unnerved by it. Sure, on run plays and on pass plays, they've really kind of thrown some fear into the Arizona State defense about bringing the pressure now. That's why you've got the corners out there grabbing and holding on now. They don't believe that the blitz is hitting home, and so they're grabbing.
Got to come up with some plays here. Carrington, just a sophomore. Quishy Brown in the other corner, a junior. A lot of guys in that box. Good hit. Short of the first down. Teron Ward stopped up by Mokiola. Picked up 3. It'll be 3rd and about 2 to go.
You know, and a little adjustment by Oregon State is, you know, to use a couple tight ends. If you look how broad that surface, that line is. It's so wide. Now, when you bring pressure, you've got everybody matched up with them. You've got a hat on a hat. And those tight ends, the extra tight ends, are helping them spread out that blitz, that pressure, and they're creasing it.
Rod Mokiola came out of the ball game. 3rd and long now, back at the 44-yard line. Defining moment here.
Is Arizona State gun shy? Will they bring the kitchen sink again?
I'm going to guess they're going to come the way they know how to do.
I think they back off this time. It's hurt them the last 2 times.
They play it conservatively. The screen pass underneath to Hamlin, and he comes up 2 yards short of the first down. So 4th down coming up. Boy, I don't know if you're Mike Riley. Do you even consider going for it here?
You know, you can't. You want to so badly. You really want to go, but you cannot do it.
He's saying no.
Yeah, you're 3.5 minutes to go. You're up by a point. You have a chance to kick the ball and back them up. can't do that.
And then, of course, there's the looming element of the Oregon State defense being able to maintain a lead in crunch time, because the story goes like this. They have not had good moments in fourth quarters against Utah, Cal, and Washington State last week. And in Washington State last week, you could call it a meltdown of communication. If this punt goes well by Matt Hawk, pardon me, by Keith Costal, then they would be flipping the field. Fair catch called at the 15-yard line. A defining moment for Arizona State and Taylor Kelly when we come back. Welcome back, everyone, to Reeser in Corvallis, Oregon. Right now, Oregon State with a 1-point lead, 28-27. And for Arizona State, number 6 in the college football playoff rankings, everything on the line right now. An opportunity with the loss of Mississippi State today to get into that top 4, but they got a lot of work to do with less than 3 minutes to go. First down and 10 from their own 15. Kelly with the fake. Downfield and incomplete, intended for Jalen Strong.
So much at stake for Arizona State. That number 6 ranking, a chance to move up, and should they lose, the door opens in the South for USC, UCLA. The race becomes pretty open again.
Arizona State, a one-loss team. That lone loss at home against UCLA 6 weeks ago. Second and 10. On the slant, Kelly completes it to Jalen Strong, who rolls forward. Let's look at the spot. Looks like he picked up about 9. It'll be 3rd and short.
That's just a throw based on his body. That's a big body receiver who just gets inside the corner and makes the catch. That's good stuff.
That matchup between Steven Nelson and Jalen Strong has been a compelling one all night. Out of the backfield, Foster, Mr. Reliable, with the first down at the 30-yard line, picked up 6. .208 to go. Foster looked like he was shaken up. From the 30, DeMario Richard, the true freshman now in the game, in the backfield. Kelly on the out and up. Strong couldn't bring it down. Incomplete. Steven Nelson there, shaken up as well. Those two, as I mentioned a moment ago, have been battling all night. And that is the precipitate of all of what happens. They're leaving it on the field.
And it was just the landing for both of them. It's just the way they both came down.
Nelson actually got his hand in there, Rod, and knocked it out. Knocked it away, it looked like.
Yeah, on the way down, but that was a ball that you would expect Strong to hang on to. He goes up high as he normally does. He gets it, just couldn't pull it all the way in before Nelson with his right hand knocked it out. You think about Arizona State losing their best pass receiving weapon in Strong, a guy who can get that 50-50 ball for you, that contested ball. So now you put more reliance on Foster, more on Cameron Mitchell to make a play for you.
Marable in the game at DB in place of Steven Nelson. 2nd and 10. Kelly over the middle, picked off! He's picked off! This might do it! Beavers score! The doctor! Michael Doctor with the pick six, his third interception of the year, and perhaps the biggest one of the season for Oregon State. With 1:38 to go. The extra point good, so it's an 8-point game. Still, they have a chance with 3 timeouts remaining.
Jonesy, we talked about the change in defense. They went away from the blitz and went back to playing coverage, and Kelly did not recognize the zone. Look in the middle. Doctor is sitting right there, never left. He had an underneath zone, stood right there, and just watched the quarterback. Watched Kelly and picked it off. Kelly never saw him. Never recognized that they were sitting the linebackers at about 5 yards looking for that shallow cross.
Remember, this is an Arizona State team that is number 6 in the college football playoff rankings. And Mississippi State's lost today, and some of the other machinations, a chance perhaps to get into that top 4 with a win. But right now, a huge hill to climb, and they're going to start off on their own 25-yard line.
Well, going to Corvallis is a trap.
Look at that. USC sitting at 6-2. UCLA with 6-2. They have their showdown coming up in a couple of weeks. Arizona at 5-2. Arizona State finishes up with them in a couple of weeks. Jalen Strong on the sidelines. He of the Hail Mary catch in the win against USC. Kelly incomplete at the 30-yard line, knocked away from Cole, the intended receiver. Johnson there to bat it down.
Yeah, you know, these linebackers are now really active, looking for the underneath routes. Good adjustment by Mark Banker, the D coordinator. Went away from the pressure, started looking for those short crossing routes and the quick outs, turning his guys loose in the underneath zones.
Jalen Strong still on the sidelines, not with the helmet. 2nd and 10. Kelly sacked back at the 17-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and long for Arizona State. Barnett and Dylan Wynn there.
It's just a 4-man pass rush, and they beat them.
And the Sun Devils going to burn one of their remaining timeouts. Kelly completes it to Foster. Picks up a bunch of yards, leaving him about 2 shy, and that's what you were talking about, Rod. They got a big chunk of it.
Smart, patient. Give it to your best player. Let him make this something manageable. Now you have a 4th down where you have options. You can throw, you can run. You've got a variety of things you can do here to pick up this 1st down, and you have time.
4th and 2. This is Arizona State's season. Kelly under heat, and he's sacked. That'll do it. DJ Alexander drops him.
Watch the end of the play. Did Kelly give up at the end like he thought maybe there was, I don't know, a whistle or something? It seemed like at the very end he kind of just accepted that he would be stopped there. And look at Riley.
Boy, for a defense that has come up under so much criticism for their late game shortcomings and failures, to come up huge here in the 4th quarter against Arizona State says a lot about the character and determination of the Beaver defense and players.
Well, that sack was by DJ Alexander, and give some credit to Mark Banker, the defensive coordinator at Oregon State. He mixed up everything he did in that 4th quarter. He went from playing coverage to bringing pressure. He's played a lot of coverage, rush 4 the last 2 downs, and then on the final down, on 4th down and 2, brought pressure. What in the world will this mean for Tuesday? And what might it mean for the race in the Pac-12 South now?
Well, UCLA, USC, still with life. This is the second loss for Arizona State, as the fans who brave the chilly temperatures storm the field. And Mike Riley, who had a rough 4 weeks in a row with some near misses, will see his team snap their 4-game losing streak with their biggest win of the season coming tonight, making it 5 in a row here at Reser against Arizona State.
Can you believe what kind of a season this has been and what kind of a race we've had in the Pac-12 this year? It's been unbelievable what happens late night in the Pac-12.
What a night here under the lights at Reser Stadium. Oregon State wins at 35-27 in the upset. Coming up next, Sports Center. For Rod Gilmore and Jessica Mendoza, I'm Mark Jones. Hey folks, late night in the Pac-12. Thanks for watching. Good night from Corvallis.